Yo, so we are going to have a bigger conversation. Obiye here so betie nkoma me no eba bedi ene. Adentia because ye ba bewura ye nyankasa ye mu. Ni nyankasa ye de ye hu go through deliverance. In fact, baby a dogma, stigma, trauma bia de wanantia ba bedru sesie na ma we lose wo channels, lose wo divinity, lose wo connection with the universe, lose wo to the level that u ni gidie mpo e wo mu biom no. Sankomo we amene wo ba bedi won kasa wo begina wo dem na wa ye wo self deliverance. I don't know how you will call this. So enen komo na ye kwa akodi no, it will come with a lot of directions. It will come with a lot of idea wan kasa wo chichere edi abo wo ho so edi anante di abo wo bra me pesa nkra bi ate ase se spirituality is all about self freedom and I say independence, like wo de wo ho entare obi so won chiri obi ensese intermediary bi gina woni nyame bi ntam ana egina woni tumi bi entam wo betimi round no we looking for knowledge e dia build wo ho. You can actually go through any process now wo de ahake any system set ebe imprison wo now dey liberate wo ho eye den na be ma watumi aye say eye knowledge a wo Bible akache mo say lack of knowledge my people perish anim dey yi ni ho a e na wo beka ohu beka adwamu ebinum wo situation bi mu mpa omu nim se obi anya bibi angina so a ontumi mfa wo nto sa situation ni mu eniama a ya hyehye ato wo mu ahyehye ato wo kra mu se ye ka osoro se ye ka nyankopon bi se ye ka hell ne ye ka heaven a dia ewo wu mu dada a wo de ba wiase ene dia wo ba wiase nso a ya hyehye ato de ewo wu mu ne so eno ne ye koka ho asem adentia a fish a owo apumu no obi ankwa ankokere ne se dia ye soemi ewo opuni mu ene ndie efifi no omo ana omo fifi sebe tafrache facha me emu ati nwura mu no obi ankwa ankokere omo se de omo ntine nwura ni mu ene nnoma enam soro no obi anso ankere omo se de ye fly. It was born in them. Adie bia said their fishes swim, said their bird air fly. Ni nyina said their lion to me wura nsuo mu kokokoche den chemo or dani dwele no. Onyo obi na kire no. It's something that is born in them. Adenti na ye nipa de enye yense bibi is born in us. Aye nyankasa ye betimi aye ya de na de dum de ewo yemu anade ye de wo ye no eno hunim de na me pesa me no wo che na me de ma na hu said ya wo be ye wo. We are going to talk big. The conversation is huge to me. Material sources are making me apiki knowledge ni na bi ediafi. We are discussing about two major things. The edi kan ye ecclesiastical terror and na de disu mienu no ebeye the alchemical heart. Eniama mienu we se wunye niama mienu we writer. Wo de spirituality be chichere wo ho. Eniama mienu we ne se Africa etimi hu. If they really want to liberate their continent, say niama we na ye basis as omo touch base with enye easy. Nanso eye very small. We and a conversation and ye ba be have. My boss has given me a new name. Or say a friend me ghost influencer. Because of near maybe and say make keka na or say I know the onchro. But wa mami edin ono na ma me okro ma afudin no. And latest name aba say a friend me ghost influencer because na say na me can samanfo bi ase. Abusia, allow my okro mouth to ask these double-barreled questions. Mama me fa me name no and the title na me boss de ma me okro mouth mama me use. Na me fem bisa nsem bi sometimes ye mu bi bebrebe ye nimniama bebre wo yadwene mu. Eniama bebre eba yadwene mu say now, soon ya sumi kura say a lot of questions. Ekoye nyina ya dwuni but eya na ye say ye na ye bodam ana ebi am edwin dodo. Chi se obi be kato so. No one will say say ma dwuni ya adwuma me bodam. Why do you carry a Bible in your bag every Sunday? I didn't know the Bible show bag me kwesi ya de biara. Say wo kwa sorry, but you have never opened the real book. Which is what? Which is your own chest. De bia wo tam Bible to bag mu na wo de kwa sorry. De bia wo bie Bible mu. Ebi da wo mpetifi. So wan fa won san to Bible so amfa nto kokoko so amfa nto pillow asekra. Wontumi enna because enu na wugidie wo mu na ne wo kokoko so e. Wadwe ho. Wo carry wo Bible no na wo de nanteko. But your chest carries you to everywhere you go. Have you bothered checking or opening your chest to see what is there? Oh, baby, my chest. Let's get into this. Why do you kneel and beg a God you cannot see? I didn't hear a question. When nobody has ever told you that there is a throne room sitting quietly inside your own heart, why not catch it all? He that is in me. Give thanks with a grateful heart. Then the wo mo hwehwe sa nneama yi nyina. Ibisamo. Because anoma otu onye obi a na kire no. Fish no wo nsuo mu no, osoemi wo ho. Se wo de fish ne beto asase so obeye vulnerable ni useless, obetumi ewu. Sa na wo de bed so kohye pumu a obetumi ayeden ewu. Nti aden na ye ndwin say ye nipa so something is omo abobibi ahye yemu ba ye de bia ye atwen obi ansa ye bibi. Why do you kneel? And I'm because bompa ye na dey important na wo hwehwe. Why does that one small verse read out loud by a pastor still make your whole body shake and your knees go weak? E dey ba asem and a scripture ba ko osofo catch curse be upon them. And no na still edi ehu to wabrabo so. Even when you are a grown woman or a grown man with your own children, you are still scared of a prophecy a pastor gave you, or you are still scared of something a spiritual person has told you. Why? Pacho mibisa. At this era, ye woman adentia. Today, abusia, we are talking about fear. I mean, religious fear. It is everywhere. And every group. It is everywhere. Let's talk about this. As much as I preach about this, sometimes I feel I need further explanation. And today is the day. Because look, putting sugar in a poisonous something doesn't change it. It's still no matter how beautiful a cup is, if it is containing a poisonous something, the beauty of the cup never changes the poison na e work up no. Sa na wo di sugar nso egu poison so awo trauma na wo na mu no. So wo dress say dan di gu so a de wo wakoma mu no eno na wo ho. De wo wu mu no eno na wo ho. Nti esese yetumi to ye bo ase. Na yehwe sa aniyama we because untumi encover untumi mfa ade e dengu bibi so emma toxicity na ewo mu no entimi mfiri mu. I want everybody to understand. And when Africa understand this, we better help ourselves. Because, tie, se we jai bibi amanaka, no we yi bibi e free wutrim. Se we yare na we yare no won't pain biom, na we heal wo completely no. Ni nyina wo de na wa bottle ahye wo mu. Na so wo di bibi abrabra so. And na triggers all over, reactions all over. I want us to get into this and see how we can free ourselves so we can become genuine people and talk about awakening and liberation. Because sadia ye na se wan hwe ye mfiri ho na ehye omu na wo pretend ya small similar something be with triggers. That is why we are talking about liberation of Africa with bitterness. Ye healing completely. And this is what I think is so important for us to talk about. Last week, I saw a viral video of an MP telling a young school child that she is the future wife of that MP. I don't know the age difference. I don't know Sasa MP no Onyang Maria. And I actually don't want to ask any physical questions. I don't even want to talk about it. But I want to talk about this in a different level. And if I say I'm talking about something in a different level, you should understand me. And the MP will marry her. He said that to the girl. I am sure you know the scenario I am talking about. And as long as these fear triggers exist, we can't talk enough about it. Eniama yedi ato ma adwene mu chese oba ne level obetumi akọ with me beauty ene se obe ware na wawo mma ama obi enkese se MP no tumi ka kire ne se wo ho ye fe na wo ho aye fe fa be ye first lady e wo Ghana ha no na se fa be ye minister wo Ghana ha na kwa abrochire ho no na fa ko ye greater negotiations na fa bra. But the limit and the level we've placed women no the same way na MP ni, like I said, I'm not going to tackle it physically. Can there be a questions maybe sano ano be den na emom dia na me expect say me hu e ya asofo ya wo fa ha gbe. I was thinking that in come be stepping in no more can be, but omo nyina ye shut. They don't really care. We cannot talk enough about these things. This statement, as historic and cultural as it may be, has a deep root cause for lifetime trauma and embarrassment for a child. And that's the level I'm going to take all these things from. Like I said, I'm not going to ask any physical questions or direct questions. Anka Maame ebebisa, because anka mebisa MP ni senti abofra no ho ye fe no at ni age no we hu hwe ya abofra no beauty no obetumi aya aboa no chese aware ni nti MP no at ni age ondi obi ana oni yire ana. But me bisa any of that na o kasa asem no odwene nanfofo no kura wo ne te asem no wi a so omo de besere no so omo de odwene akola ni state ho onima akola no ni emotional balance na owo ansa na o kasa. But like I said, I'm not going to tackle this physically or tackle it as a mother. And I make sure no said the statement we volume a woman no. Me yes sure say yenim historical volume and our cultural volume and also say the deep root cause for lifetime and embarrassment for that child. We don't even know. Inti what do mean koho? Inti mean bisasem. Religion does not even teach us about the fear that was planted inside you before you even manifested as a child. Yen kan chiraw. Ehu a ye dia to mu religion kra de betu mu ansa na wo beye mojato da wo maame ye funu mu kra no. Religion will not teach you, because obe chiraw say wo ye mojato da wo na ye mu no nyame ni mu dada. The fear that stays inside many families for generations. And so today, I decided to use a mixed theory I call the alchemical heart to provide simple help and alternatives for those with deep-rooted panics and fears in their souls. There are people who are in a panic mode. There are people who are in a fear mode. There are people like omuankasa omu dem mpanimfo omu enyi ononko anam na esunkraba na bibi ya to no so ononko antumi nda dem be sin dey ya kase bebia wanyini edu no ontumi nda dem eden na masa ehu wei ewo wo so. There are people like okitesika kra no de koye business a wosuro because onim so ye den a ebehye. Some cannot even enter into relationships because okowuramu a onim se begumi ma me de egumi na na de egu ye saa obi suro so obenyense because ne I want us to talk about this. There is that one thing sadia ni dia who confront pene e de triggers bi abrel wa wo sha me and then the thing will so wo feel say no na ye wo shortcomings no na ma wo fall short in a lot of things. Oh me dating ni pana dia meye bia oni ni me da pe beja obeja me said dia beye bia me ni ko me fie ko tia me ma me pe. A lot of people are going through these things. And then I will show me who come. Our chemical concept for me revolve around using a mix of science, art, and teachings to achieve some paranormal outcomes. The aube to me the aye near maybe I feel say soon so. Listen, it's not about break and loose. If it is about break and loose, a lot of people have freedom. It goes beyond that. Because some people can put some people there breaking spiritual marriage. Ye go awaria wo Maame Grace. Any obi ubebo be ma bidin. Maame Grace ne boro nsam ntam na bi. Ye egu aware between Maame Grace ni Jesus. Ene ye egu sa aware no. Nti aware egu omi nti who break spiritual marriage. Spiritual marriage na who break spiritual marriage between who and who. Nti it is not about break and loose. It goes beyond that. Nti eno na me chira we say ye wo so many ways ye betimi afa so ne yetimi ayeden afri ye ho. Nti matchro say ye be use science, ye be use art, ne ye use teachings, ne ye dey achieve some outcome who feel say it's never possible. Like how chemicals are mixed to form useful metals. Religion sees alchemy differently. And you know, you at that stages, different levels. So we are able to see things beyond ordinary and beyond normal. Patriotic, I say. So religion, alchemy, say a different thing. In religion, alchemy is a sacred journey to purify the soul and seek closeness to God. There is intermediary. Inti no sa no momote alchemy ase. Alchemy saw the earth as chaotic, but also filled with divine light. This is how alchemists also see the world or understand the word alchemy. So their work was to use prayer to restore creation's perfection. That is why many churches organize revivals and crusades. Say omo ko bo mpaye no mo e stability e dia but is that possible? This thing is been going on. Yesu ehu chaos e wo epo no so no or kasa kire epo no e no this stability ba ye in the boat of Noah eno so no chaos see ye and sana stability ye den eba in their mind they are using prayer, music and performance and collecting money to heal the world, but is it working? But you can testify that all the crusades in the don't lie to yourself. I have said this multiple times on this very platform that everybody at all can lie to you. But you lying to yourself is a taboo. Because when you lie on your bed, you know the truth. Whether you've been caught of the evil you did or not, you know the truth deep down within you. So be honest with yourself. The only thing that can save you, Abusia, do you think my work is worthy of being called a healing journey? So, where's your question? Everything I'm doing here. If so, then bring your collections and tithe. Because ejuma na ye juma. And ye be ye juma more. And I told you last week, and say ye call the next level. Ye peja ye mu ako ye nim ebium because me preach yang kasa. And I say that me wadam. And yes, sir. Abusia, me man krankre bia kwaba at the time with Maame Grace, you may subium. I'm always Maame Grace, and this is Sunday hour with me, and it's always great. It's always refreshing. It creates another impact, and it's very, very, very important to tune in. And so say we lose at any cost because you need it. It's very important. Before I continue, Abusia, share your comments and share this post on all your church platforms. Your pastor is also watching. They are on the platform. They are watching. Papa. Make I episode be a me say binu mo bo wa ebi mo tana sorry ni igunu. And I mean so mo share papa because the consultation grounds was full of pastors. My emfa ye dwuma mu wasa mo ba ni emfa videos mu si ho. It's a private and it's private. I am your prettiest preacher always, Kasongo, always. Me man krankre biara akwaba episode where you're very, very important to me. Yo abusia ndanso so ye kwesi adabio me man krankra bia chi man krankra bia akwaba at the bad time with Maame Grace Jumedie kese so media me just why a prettiest preacher on this platform call me Kasongo. I'm Saint Osika. I am na dromo manye na dromo ofenu obetumi afre me dia opebe me nko na me wu yeso me ye saint. I'm Africa's finest spiritual visionary. What's that number 8? Me din doso. But betumi ato me nyom Kasongo bona we. It's another day we are going to have a great conversation. Ecclesiastical terror is the topic we are discussing. And I'm breaking the ayebeke kani bebrebe down at the amount. Do you think, sir, we okay? We okay, sir, what dress ya shata de pa? And now we okay deep down within you. So we okay deep down within you are. I don't know bufu intentem say. I don't know what to me the pressure echo wo maso sa. I don't know what tie mugu maso sa. E den panti no wenya awarepa. Enya bibia wo fie na mofre wo fie mo ho nto mo pesa wo bo mo. E na woni bra me bre wa brabo mu ansa. Anna mo de ye tetem na mo me ye tetem. Me bisa wo say are you sure you are okay or something is bothering you? And na wo de atade na atoso. Why are you always in the church? Is there something you've done that scares you? And now the church and kata ho anadentia. Let's look into this. In fact, if we are not sincere to our own selves and there is no way out. Memo wakwaba emo wachi odokwan so abusia ansa na yebesha ase no. I want to ask you something else. Mpese bisa obibi kakra bi abusia. Have you ever noticed that no church as of now condemned the utterances of the MP against the young girl? Ana me di kan no osofo bia hwim abofra kitiwo na Yesu mposa moma mofra no kwan no mommra me nchen na wenum sei e no soro ahende ne ya omodia e na ya minti Yesu ase yo omoma mofra no kwan no mommra wo nchen na wenum sei no soro ahende da e ya omodia enso still abofra ya wo ne nne a onkasa ya obe confess Yesu who are still obe ko hell. It doesn't make sense to me. It's a topic for another day. It is because fear is the first thing religion teaches a child before a child learns to love God. The child is taught to fear God, and it is biblical and it is scriptural. Almost say the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. When the cancer ask me, does this even make sense? Before a child learns about grace, the child is taught about sin. So wunya bonia, unya onyankopon wani madum. Grace is not abounds for you until you become a sinner. Sometimes I don't want to ask some questions because me bisa me hu say nyankopon we pa no se biota fractures na dwen ye adwuma nka niam ne bi wo okro mo ntworo because you ubewu ma abone ube prepare wi ase bone nya eno so ye scripture ma me quote no man ka se me ni Bible o se onyame aguama oyi wi ase bone kro Inti wabeyi wiase bone kro ena mo asom se onyankopon na ebo nipa onyame chiri bone inti owuo na nyankopon be wu ye na mpepa bone na nkompo se dia o promise ye na Adam na bone ahye ye mani wuo na mpepa sa Adam na bone no amfa nko a sebio tafrache obo nipa no so onim so obebo nipa foforo a obebo dia ope a bone ni omomu because onyame mpe bone eno nso so how do I understand this God? And why won't I ask such intelligent question? Maybe sir. But when no mo catch them ofra no before ye be wo no, ne ya catch us say wo your bone for dada. Answer na wo be start say wunyi no, ese say wo di onyamisuro eye dan e di tu mu. Before a child even understand what a soul is, the child is already told that the soul can be lost forever in a fire that never goes out. Obunsam dem hellfire oja ebesho. Yaka we ato wadwe mu dada. Brunsam jem obi enko ho because judgment nyam baaye. Minim nipa ko ho ko twa asa picture we nyina baaye. Because the judgment day ni baaye nti ukoye den wo ho. Ntumi nti ase. This is how it starts. Said niyama we no mo bekeka e de ato wadwenim because whatever that book is nim say who will free will, who will free soul, and the soul belongs to only you. Teachers are who admit it. This thing they can arrest people and put them in jail. They don't actually know or have any evidences of bonekwa omwaye, but they look at your way of life. No much, no mo tutu enumu omo tutu enumu na wa we mistake na kasa o skake to ebi na uwiaye and na say ya no mo ejina so. This is what these people do until they find sin in you. They know that until you admit a sin. Omo to me touch you so no. This is what people don't learn. Until now, Nyankopon be catch by force. Say, your boy, why you woo, why be inherited a sin your mother didn't know, your father didn't know. In fact, we woo nanka 2,000 years ago, no, and kaisa a garden of Eden bonen and kawaku kono still is what because I say won't confess bibi no nya will not untrap you. These people have learned the cosmic law, the rules of this universe, and omu jinaso and omu de bomori ne be before the law, be before the flat, be before the ground dinimu, be before lacking knowledge totally zero. Into ye use sa game way and omu de real moda. This is how it starts. Saying almost started the whole thing. I am not saying this to insult your religion. No. Your pastor, your imam. No. Your church or your family. I don't do that. And you can't catch us say, Sabi kafrache, men kasabasa because yatete mi fie. E no echi no kura so menyini. Sabi. So be pa 55 from home corner ni ma akọ ba bia madu na so oni nyansa de ya. Na nyansa enka no ho because obi betimi aye niama waye nyina eduru age bia enye obi netunufo. Abrabo a wabọ na nkasa tumi tunufo ka chense we ye. Inti obi a onye kora odu sa age na that is when they want to correct their error. Inti so obi anya sa age ne sebe kafracha facha me no ye mmuade a na kire so ya abuamu abu asebi nipa supo enti ni mu. So I am not attacking anybody, not at all. I have told you many times on this show that I respect every religion, but I am allowed to disagree. Dia wo ye bia ye ade puti nipa together bia ye ade esese sombo e de manipa, but se omo puti nipa together na omo dane omombo a, that is where I ask questions. I disagree and it's my right because Bible ankasa kora ka se mon konko ka asem no se de obegye di wankasa mon force obi ama ninjindi internet to obi a won right. They know the soul doesn't belong to them but doesn't belong to any god. E ye nipa no be ma that right no. I have my right. So I ask questions. Na catch them say me nye say me bu obi a but enye say me bu nti. Sabe medi nkwase asem bi echi. I have that choice to say me bu but there we dey be I don't agree. Eye me right. Ane we betumi preach dia wo pe bia. So you can decide not to agree with me. That's so okay. I have traveled and sat with the Druids in London. I did videos for you guys. I have sat with monks. I have sat with traditional priests in our own villages. I respect all of them. I be mu invite me mami to car court ni ade so me buobia because the love they give me no odra some penifo yi omo ni mi hia omo de mame those who invite me to their homes for dinner and all that I respect and I appreciate, but that doesn't mean say you can buy me with whatever opportunity or whatever grace or love you feel you are showing me. That be my questions are always with me and I will ask you. If you answer fine, if you don't do it's equally okay. Intimate respect you be but that doesn't mean say me be some asem. Another amen tiase, another amen pe, another sit well with me no. Me oye penny nti there be. Me wonyansa na minim se penny a wagimi wo ho sebe. Ena abofra wagimi wo ho. Sebe kafra abofra wagimi ono anu yin be ye penny a wagimi. Sebe enti me ma me nka se me bu na ye penny nti asem a wo ka bia no. Na me tie. Wo ka chem se me kotwa ma me ti mbre wa me ntwa de a. Ene na che se me so me wo me ho ni me nyansa size. So I respect them. But questions need there. Maybe sada because listen. Say yen bisa questions na enukure wo mu a eno na say ye continent na ye timu no. Ye ma fear we ye pani nti ye ntimi bisa na sem. Oh ye pani nti de wa ya enye kra mo ye ntwa so. That is why African continent is in this condition. But respecting a part does not mean I will stay quiet. When I see that same part being used to keep a whole generation afraid of themselves. And until maybe nenentre say ade ebe kum yen na be hye ase na be dane yen something which is the meye kom na mahwe dabi. Se minya ye sa pa menye conscious being honestly. So today, hopefully, before we end, we will understand a few things about the heart and how fear damages us. Some mamuti sa niyama we say, ase. Say ye pese ye boa ye ho a niyama esese ye te ase no eno na mebu boso a me de kire wo ha sei. And maybe say ye come deep ni ye kasa asem we a eno na mo be ma mo be hu nyarewa ahodo a aba ye so ene de keka ka ho nyina. And by so doing, we will expose the negative vibrational wall that religious fear builds inside a person. Until we get through to this wall, they use these things to say that walls of Jericho say enjiri engua or say any it's a language, it's a code. They use walls, Jerusalem walls, Tobiah, Sambalat, almost arising or Marco build the wall, Benya. Tell your bishop to decode what a wall is in the Bible to you. And to say, "You get it to this wall now." It be difficult for us to set ourselves free. The alchemical heart will bring an understanding of why I believe your heart is not just an organ that pumps blood. Debbie, more than that, but a seat of your own divinity. I've done this episode. I know this is big, but I will explain, I will break it down. Yes, my heart here is that the heart can be refined the same way gold is refined by fire. Sana mi wo didie sa akoma no so tumi ko gem e ma etimi refine. So that old pain becomes new strength. Inti pain na hye wakoma num no a wa polish wo ho no. In actual fact, you can actually bring that pain out and make it a strength that will help you move to the next level. And then in our bottle wo inside. And maybe no. Are you like a poison that you are putting sugar on? Say, no. And now we a poisonous baby, a beautiful cup, a attracting nipa. A year will say because the cup is beautiful. And you know, poison a woman in your poison biomana. Where your question? What can you change for yourself? A dear now bet me, I am a dear Maka is another deep statement. A deep state, and in fact, let me break it down. And don't think I have half knowledge, because I know it's very dangerous. Half knowledge is very, very dangerous. Ignorance is foolishness, me. But half knowledge is treacherous. It's even more than dangerous. This is an important preaching, so that if you were at a point in your childhood caught in the same traumatic situation that triggered fear and panic in your life, you will understand what it means to reclaim your own cosmic authority. So, we will have a lot of mental people with us, but they are well dressed, polished and well dressed on that mental illness, thinking we are living with people. But the same people can kill us because they are not stable, because we didn't help them to heal, because we forced them to cover up what is eating them up. So we need to talk about this. Without a pastor, idea we are making, obey without a pastor, because you don't want to cover it up with anything. Without a malam, without a priest standing between you and your own source. Say, intermediaries honest. You can only do this thing all by yourself. That is when you can be honest. That's why I say, obi o twa ntrochere nkrofo enyehu, but you twa ntrochere no an ho de eyehu papa, because any medical aka no, spirituality is about self-dependent. O de wo ho. Nti try sa obe hack every system na wahu na waboa wankasa wo ho. Enti no, say if spirituality is about yourself there, and then you learn to graduate, because you have to graduate and be a free person. You don't have to sit under somebody for 1 million years. That is why I don't understand Christians. You go to school, doctor, law, book a case now, read a graduate. Why are you still a member and still a sheep? We can leave that one for a, but asema maybe say kromubu fuso aya de ha menu asema maybe say no so ye scriptural. Jesus himself said, say ye baba be more than he is doing. O teach yen, that's why he was called rabbi. O teach wa be more than. So what's going on right now? What happened to that scripture? Lack of knowledge indeed. I want to show you what happened when a person finally acts from that refined heart, a renewed spirit. When somebody gets to this point, the way the person behaves, That person has nothing to do with fear. And this is equally biblical. Bible said the renewal of the mind is very, very important. And she said, "Oko kokoro wo ho a, e wo nsuo mu na ukobbo asu. Na se un renew wadwen na, e fallacy. Bible so asanya complain. This is also scripture. O se mun sunsan mu akoma mu na nya mu ntade mu. Mun decode saa e ho no. What does the will of a free person look like? What does the will of a free person look like? And are you free at all? What does the will? One kasa will no at the same because I know that ebe determines whether you a free person or not. And me bisa wo one kasa, do you have your free will at all? Help me to understand or help me with answers. This is a heavy topic, Ebusia, but we will try to unpack it one by one because you need it. You need to do this. Recently, I sat with a young Christian woman. Mostly when we do these things, it's not public, but allow me use this. And before I use this, answer. She is not up to 30 years old or very young. She came to my office almost crying, just and she told me that anytime she wants to decide for her own life, or no life, no, whether about her job, her relationship, or her money, she hears a voice in her head asking her, is this what God wants, or is this what the devil wants? Enye nipa no okoku enya abortion no okokose adwuma bibi obe na dwen so obeye bia no na ndi bi akasa akere no mienu saa ndi mienu nyina so kasa akere ono ane ho wo yese wo koye ade na ape no wate ade men koye wo ya wo be bokọ se koye wow koye men koye. What is that? This guy is good, he's not good, there's red flag, this is this that this aya den potin aya saa ade no pacho di anyame pe ne di aburunsam pe enu na ye di ehi pacho di ehi na wonsu ukom. Some of you, your pastors keep drumming in your ears that before you even dress, you should ask yourself if it is the will of God and if it pleases God. Obakatro ade a wa hye say so nyame ani ana onyame fie na nyankopon so o mpe boni o wetu o mu nyina ka nda wig trouser ye ne mu na ahwibo mu nails makeup lipstick. Oh, God is indeed merciful. Before you say no to a man, you should ask yourself if saying no will offend God. Okay, you just a bibi nyame. Some of you cannot rest on Sunday because of church program. Want to me rest? Wow, papa, the week was terrible for you. Sunday, na say woda na wo home. Onyame a wo kobre ye no. One ma wo painkiller mpo to reduce your pains no. One kwa sorry a problem. Inti no there be wu kura na se wo ko. Cause one ko church pa bronsam afa wonumum. Obefa wonumum. Jesus eye kwanchan du nsia osia abrefo wanso ye wo di niam akwa achinya waka bibia wo beka bia wo baaye no so Sunday na wo be rest no eno so se fako wan fa nkwa eye problem ena me ka se me nan se me jai questions bisa o ka ye be bisa mo questions sa wigi ya me hye mi bisa nyame se so nani ana atade a me hye mi bisa nyame se so nani ana obra mi bo mi bisa nyame se so nani ana edwuma me koye mi bisa nyankopon se so nani ana no no nyankopon aka so obo nipa no so mo atade ena me hye matade ma ko bisa ne se so o amba o mu naked inye naked no de o mu gu ho nti nyankopon aka sa atade be no nim a mi ko bisa ne se dia mi papa dia mi hye so wani ade nyankopon nim nakedness wo yi firi wa ahaban ino nim tani mu yankotete ahaban tetare ye ho ni ye hu se onyankopon so nani we questions o ko bisa na o mu buafu you miss one church prayer meeting and you feel guilty. What just man sorry and that just a brunsama for weni as if you have committed murder. The way I hit you with you hono. A year with such as a work nipa just a why ya dick sibi. Meanwhile, and I make a Yankopon over and one few. Yankopon pa me what question no. You are the same yesterday, today, and forever. What Tomana Fristroma Israel for how many years? 40 years. Omuntade ne omumpabwa share omwa obi anyi enja ne mpabwa no sabofra no wo 2 years benya 42 years na the same atade na na share the same mpabwa na na share. You are the same yesterday, today, and forevermore. Why are you not doing it now? Liar. This nigger. I don't know cause miracle no cause my Israel for no. Toma na ma yendi. Abusia. This young woman is just like most of you. Mumu bebre. Eh na ye say ye mompaye ma Jesus biom a. And ye be den ya bompaye, ye mompaye emfa hwan su biom. Atame na me ye nko bompaye no emfemfiri wo no mo ana so say twawomanya aba ene chesensem ni bebre. Uchi obi a etisenye o universe adawroma nature adawro chese obi chesenchi anokra yintumi nji so. You have been trained since you were a small girl to hand over your own will to somebody else's God that you don't even know. A God who changeth not. That on yet the away before he's not doing it anymore. What kind of assembly is this? Telling a small girl in the midst of her friends that she is your wife is a powerful grooming tactic that will sit with her for the rest of her life. This thing has been there. And what I make a say, we've polished on our trauma. Into the triggers is what makes us do certain things and behave certain ways. Into occurs as same way no. All the boo pastors and malams are shut. And so now you see girls who have everything and have achieved so much, but because they have no husband, they fear they are living in guilt and fear because omo nware mo kwa abrochire mo amototo abrochire mo kwa sa na mo hu no ede niam na ye de akyekyere ye kon akyekyere ye makon eniama dada atwam. Almost say Muhammad a 6-year-old child. So if a Muslim should see a girl and tell the girl, say you are beautiful, you will be my wife, no, I worry that damn poor. Aligning with the religion. That's why I will not ask any physical questions. And as I call you Christo niso, and no abofra no katra ne say wo ye feme ware yes. Your ancestors were doing this. No, we see a siwa. Na siwa no so no so mo ye polygamous. Into ubekwa ko trace nipa no ne bloodline ne so no. Na the great grandfather was polygamous. That thing sit in the blood. Into say wuku pemba check it. Wo check ne papa ne nana no worry you know. Stop worrying yourself. It is blood that is running through him. Mama will advise enku. Ain't na me say me bisa physical questions because it wouldn't even make sense. I bet to say me. And so now you see girls who have everything. They are living in guilt because oni kunu. Obi to me catch obi say to work ra say wuni kunu. Omu to me catch them crofoma and crofon so jitum say oni kunu a onye obi a ye kwa abrochiri ko ye shopping all that ye nsua the free life. And I make us a me in marriage once because I've realized that blacks don't even understand marriage. We don't know, we don't understand. There is this vision I saw and I was talking to my boss and my boss was telling me that me a ghost influencer now. I saw something that and I realized that in actual fact, ye denyani debia ye nyane as something else. Because the avatar na yekita no spirit be a person experience physicality be ye anxious grooming ne ho self obetumi possess as some avatar inti se wo ye lose na baby a wo da na ye portal bi na uni obetumi adanya ni da bia bibi awura wumu da bi wo ho awudanya ne you are so joyous da bi wo ho awudanya ne ye no buofu obi koda ye kora wan sori bium. Do we check all these things? My boy said he's not going to ride that for me because on person may go to influence na make candia be see efunu bi a ene na nam we any concert bi ankrofo yi o se ma me nka nti metwa so on tworo kora abrofo ne ma me na maka nti metwa so na woni wakọ ware obi Now when any share them, they be more than pass. So sometimes you yourself, right? When you wake up, you don't want to talk to anybody. Wow, feel say when you're okay, you need to be alone. Now, and I don't know one better them ha or be money da kunyum kakra wo ho. Hey, asembesi. You are forced to tie yourself in the name of marriage and be in one bed. Some people's lives are dormant just because of only being share bed. We are different people. The body is the same, but we are different energies. Wona nanom na omunim nti na omo ware kora omo ma oba ne dan na omo ma oba ma ne dan yesu ba ye nti mo ye word na ese mo mbe ya mpa no so a so no na ntumi ndakora ese wo da mpa no so na afa wo so wa benya yare. We are killing ourselves because of something we have zero knowledge about, and that is marriage. And me, I don't want to talk about it. Say ye nyina ye te sa asem we ase marriage is ni bebre wo ho a egu a senkana mo wo space a to say ebi mo ho a long journey and a long distance marriage helps them. Those energies that you cannot trap in one bed for obeye mob obeye miserable obeye tantantan. Mo learn ya so for na bless mo marriage you learn about all these things. But omo fasa book kitwa no mo de ato ho. And no more ready and one kasa they themselves they failed. So what can they do for you? It's a topic for another day. I don't even want to get into this. And a lot of people are dying because of marriage. Because only peace osim obewu ama Yesu odo yo onyame ne do no di adansi se odo yo yo enti obetena mu a na waye den wawu kodwoto montena ho na meken obi betena wa didi matam se me partner se nkrofo njai marriage dey o partnership is so good na ka wo jitu mu se wo kunu no ye wo partner na wo ma ne kita na will na wo so kita wo will na wo si wo dan no boa wo na no so si ni dan na wo boa no na wo ye wo business na wo boa no so si ni business na wo boa na ka jealousy bi emba na we hwe nkola we wa na we so hwe nkola we wa te sa brochire system na anka jealousy mba ma nkukum be ma so enkukum ma mai wa ni nsuhwe sugar daddies ma nkola boys ni so hwe sugar mummies fabra mi so me hwe wani so ama wani koso yin na tutu egu fom na wakɔhwehwɛ uti wo pampase sansem when yen to me kan kire nkrofo obia ne ade obetimi ai there are people who can live peacefully for 100 years no omu nyina egu. It is okay. There are people who can live with 10 women in one house. You can manage all of them. Why na de emra pity beto abibifo so ama ya bra ba be wie yen saying abusia. When people come over to my office to see me, I don't make it public. I have exclusive private meetings and consultations. But I am telling you this because it is serious. I did them. I feel 90% of us have put in sugars in poison and feel because a situation to me. Ye poison as kapa ye femu ya polish yegu ye pain biso na eye yen say ye ntumi sofa nti bibikitwe bi ye related issue bia no na akoso triggers. I looked at the lady and I said to her, me catch her no, my daughter, because or ye less than 30 nti obetumi ayi me ba because me ba pani ya bruta. In fact my second child cry is older than 30. Me catch her say me ba. It is not devotion. This is not devotional. This is what I call ecclesiastical terror. Let me explain this. But you so Google no when you surface way. That's what I call it. Ecclesiastical means anything to do with the church or organized religion. This is why I talk about groups also. Because they are equally organized religion. That's why you people do one thing. Terror means the meaning of ecclesiastical. And terror means a fear so strong that it freezes you. eto so nti me ade adi fie tu nipa so bi eni ho a me work connection with. And this is what a lot of you are going through. And it's very important we free ourselves. Because until this is done, your life ain't better. America, bro, ecclesiastical terror means a fear planted by religious institutions that freezes your own will. So that you cannot move except through their permission. Aje we bisa nyame ansa. Nyame onye nipa, wo ye nipa. Muna moto njom, wo ye nyame mi ye nipa. Ma hodi ni mi nyanse sasa mi bompa na mi sufrewa. She wo we ni mi nyam, wasitne imu. Onse ni wenu nyam onye nipa. Wona wo ye nipa. Nti edin no nu nyame no obetimi abe nipa sumu abeye enu nti no wabo bibia ma o say ye ha no wasa ka kire openly or say take dominion over bibia best everything onyame nye wo den biom understanding na eni ho no enu nie obeje wo permission ya firi winsam it turns you into a complete John girl. Minimum crofo mo ne omo yere no mu asore e na boduku e na men hye trouser men hye wig se nyame atua mu nyina mo ka mo ho apa esi enu mu ne ye na atwi wig no trouser no kra nso so amo hye no mu nim trouser ye de hye flat shoe trouser ye de hye long mu nim se ye de pencil hye wei e na mo hye bo mu nim mu body shape mpo e ne ade amo de hye mo gu mo ho anim asepoto mo ba akire na mo beto ye no so mo mbisa ye ne yan kire mo style no. I remember I went to preach at a church somewhere and I was in a jeans trouser and a white shirt. I'm going to show a picture and I'm going to I gave lot of prophecies. But because I was wearing jeans, now are you people not wearing it? Bitter people. Are you people not wearing it? I bet you to me if you win some. Now you would sebi. Ntina mo ne mba no wa asore ho mo po ba Kristo ni so mo kotwe mpena mo po ba awasai because we gina wa ye John na to pakora short ontumi nhwe ne ho ne hair is unkempt he doesn't smell good yes unti it turns you into John. That is what my theory is seeking to dismantle today piece by piece. I'm trying to let you understand that uye nipa asase we so ye wo dia ade biara a ehye wo so na ma wo nya ne wo de wo wa ware wo kunu se gya ye adwuma na ti na fie wonim se giftings bi wo me se wo de o be ware me na wo mpese me ye adwuma because wo sika wo de fesika ni bi gu dan mu ma na ade kyen ama me parking gu ha ade kyen na ma san park egu ha ma me nya bibi so be ma ka chiro se enye hwe opese okun because body nankasa is made to move. They don't teach you all this into a lot. Nipa bebre lose you. Now ko wari oba na ose mo nya adwuma owu ba amofra ne be ye den yare be bo wo be ma na wo oba wankasa wo fie be ye sen eno na mo twi manso me na me ye o millionaire nso ni kapre wotumi ye obi millionaire na wo ni kapre asem that is what my theory is seeking and no na me di gu mumu nkakra me si obi etumi ye bibi obi aba ono nko ane ba obi a survive 1000 sperm na efiru papa ya se ba ne boss ni mu ba you fought your way into the egg you were a winner enya aware na ebe limit wo ha enya asole na ebe limit wo ha enyo a motivational speaker who doesn't know what he is saying and obad wi ase na po enyo no na obekere de awonye. Pick what resonates with you. Spirituality is all about freedom. This is what I'm talking about. Everything they term as evil in the church. Now, nyamuna mo the worst. Our church from marriage to wig, like name them and planting, name them. Na Pentecost for wo nyensanya ne yetu wasen ne ye de watena edan nachi wo offering na no moje ne last sesi ekosi sen wan fa duku anko wo begina gate nachi nde ne korakora ne sen nti nyankopon na wo change na dwen sei. It is a fool who doesn't have a change of mind indeed. Let me give you one more small example. Paucho min kan bibi ntro na anya se me kasa keke. Before we go into the main teaching, because I want you to really feel this before we start unpacking it. Now what prepare I prepare you so for your own deliverance. Think about the last time you made a religious mistake. Maybe a small mistake, nothing criminal. And yes, will be ade. And now will be a small mistake. To say we be dinner 1 month per year, dana 1 month per year. Small mistake when chia will tight. Who call sorry now? Who can say when you see kebi ade be corner will rent? I mean small mistake be. Nothing that hurt anybody. And I make you na make a catch on. Say any ama we name preni pabi until they thinking about mistake be aware like that. Maybe you were busy at work or with family and missed a church program. How did you feel? Who feel say? Maybe you skipped a fast. No more fast, 40 days. And say I see this for 40 days. When to me and yebi, o pretend ya na we then when to me and yebi na o skip bi no, who feel saying I had to say challenge no, to me kura say we. Maybe you said something you should not have said to your pastor because you had mood swing during that time of the month. And a pastor make can say me no say oh Sophia sama okay there. O say mun church sika na mun fa nkoto nkonwa. De bia mutu ya konwa bia so mai. And cause of rent. When to me uncle to already this time round went to ya because of rent in Tisikana maintenance now and now welfare and now so say feeding and now so say we see now will support now sending my pastor every month no went to me and say because now bills no I learned say some people are on salaries maintenance and their keke account to busum no onye adwuma ni bi onye de sunsunfoni na yesi omo de daso na bosom so na wansani ankopa yesi na yafre wo dan wo ka na afefie ne toatoa so. Now think and tell me about the feeling that came after. One year the sesa we went to your tight no na one fesika na more so for no say bi hye wo bag mu nyame se fabra na one fan ko na wo disika ne kofie no na wo feel sempa. For many of us that feeling is not simple regret or dirty. And yes, it is a heavy, sinking dread, as if something bad is now coming for us. As if punishment is already on its way, and we have suddenly become daughters of Lucifer because that heavy feeling, abusia, is not always about the mistake itself. And yet, one corner who feels how. One sorry back the way you and yet one conintia. Often it is the old wall reacting. At the end of the day, two muna wire justice to no sa old wall no and no na reacting. There ye catch will say one sorry be ye no. Ne ye catch us sorry ha na wo ba ye nti na wo ye. There catch will say wo fear sorry ha wo be no. Those walls now is being built inside of your system no. And no na air react and this it goes beyond the normal fear that you know. It is ecclesiastical terror doing its work quietly boko in the background. So when would the material telling you that you are now unsafe because you can't. Once I was a sinner, saved by grace. Into one corner, you are losing grace. That you are now exposed. Be anywhere about that something is now watching you with anger. How many pastors have told you this? So one bar, abayifo na omude uba na yeje wa sorry na. In fact, some pastors even will call and threaten others. Say we jai ma sorry na. The beba wo so say. Ye yen obi min wadamfo obi aka kire no. Say yembo mpaye na nedwuma. Omo mo mpaye na nedwuma nsai because omo no mo bo mpaye ma maame nedwuma ye. Maame jai sorry de omo mo mpaye ma nedwuma nsai. San sem way. A lot of things. But I want you to notice the guilt feeling the next time it visits you. Say, but next time you do not push it away in shame. Remember when you wuna and kataso. Tie. Adie bia ya kataso eshesu maseno. Enu na enyini o. Se be pro, se be kun a ebekun. Pasa wote ase. There is a way we use in healing people with stroke. that that sickness has some kind of energy, and yet all of it. But some of them has some kind of energy that a basa begu animase. Inti ne count to was sebe. Ne ma sebe ye wuto toilet ne ade. So there is opeso ngu animase. Nipa bebre hu animguase na that energy can leave you. And yet stroking na some of it. Inti dia ye ne say ahamachi. Ubetimi yi nipa no na de na konante. Baby nipa bebre anante. Anadwo no because nipa na ananti wo road ni so no omo nam road ni so but their footprint is registered on the ground enti eti say nipa ne nam hwa enti wo fa say nipa no na nipa mienu so no mu ne ke no mo de ne nante sa kwan ne so afo ye what times bi and ye what time a wo de be kwa akoye no eti mi stroke ni fi nipa no so and yeah, something that I'm just it's a passing comment. What am I say? Enti se niyama ni bi ba wo so na ye nimguase a men cover animguase no so e se wo expose ni na wie ye ne ba because ade bi a ye seen ade bi a ye expose no na wie ye ne ye death because this is death realm but the sum na se no the asase ni mu no eno na enwu just like that. That is why say Christopher ne ka se to me wo kane mu a ana ewo awie mu ana ewo nyame mu a na ya na mintumi nti ase ye ka tumi wo sumase because ade a e hye sumase no ni hu mpo ye den but de ye hye kane emu tumi hu sesi etumi se no it's a topic for another day. Enti se nimguase bi ba wo so a enkata so na me kira no just notice it ade na aba wo so na e ma wo feel guilty no just notice it and ask yourself, is this fear about what I actually did? Se wunya wan kwa asori na se niama ne ba. Sit back, don't just brush it aside. Bisa wonsa ade sorry na manko ni ana bibi, or is this an old alarm that was installed in me a long time ago? But these two important questions we embra wadrim and start practicing like unkwa sit. You will know the truth when you are sitting alone. It is scriptural. Our Bible almost say and David stood alone. He stood alone. They say all these things to you people in the church with quotes, but the understanding, let's leave that one. Eya sad adwene ba wutrima sa niama we na mepese wo bisa wo ho niama wo hu na wo dwen na wo susu se ye bone no eya tena se back na bisa wo ho se we gi yo mo okay se mami mi nhye trouser you almost say mami nche aware you almost say mami njai. Sit back and ask yourself questions. Secular songs here you say mami nche say you say mami ntina nipa bi ntam because almost see atwitwi. Sit back and ask yourself questions so you are able to deal with it from within. That is where understanding and freedom lies. And more obi show ema wunye bibi against will eba ne sa what polishing or poison ne so. Let me open up something to you. Let's look at the wall of fear. There are walls. We see walls in the Bible. Understanding it is not the Ebusia. I want to introduce you to another theory I use in handling such ecclesiastical terrors in a dramatic storyline. Yeah, we have so many ways of niyama bebre wo mechanics bebre wo a ye use the sort niyama. Ebi na me betire. I want you to imagine a small child. This child is born innocent. This child does not know what sin is. Bible na aye the sin by force. Aye the sinful by force. Onim ade e friend boni. This child does not know what hell is. Onim brun samjem. Abofra innocent child ayawo no da ho. Ade onim. This child only knows hunger, sleep, and the warmth of a mother's arms. Adi abofra we ni innocent child. Jesus claims he loves them, but omu nyina yawo no cross or sinful. Owunso a bronsam jema. Nti love men na wo ma these innocent children also. Na de me say wo the other charismatics ba ye pa de. E se nkomo chi no no mo chi no kunu kura change Jesus de no. Because abrofu we omo esua de akwa akire nti owo abofra na de ode omo Christianity no abofra no ye abofra onisi onkasa kora na omo aye baptism ama no omo ntwen na abofra ni nyi no mo fata sa trash ni ngogu na adwene mu se wo ye sin na Jesus die for dabi nti abofra na na omo di nso na petepete na pampam afiri no omo mfa sa de ne nto na adwene mu kra aha de unya 18 yansa omo kobo wasu ye di wawie na ya tete virginity no mo de wakogine nso bi kra na wa ye bra no mo de wakoso omo kobo wasu moboless. Then slowly the family, the church and the society begin to add bricks to a wall around that child's spirit because you can't tell so you're sinful. Nti ne maame so tete ni Kristo kwan so Islam kwan so de keke ka ho. The first brick is original sin. Onyankopon no wetwa sa brick na to ya pampam. Nti ne yewu wa no Adam na ne from so that the bonene famu automatically. Now maame no papa nso so almost started and almost brainwash we the good so the child is told that even before they did anything wrong and now talk and now walk or ye boneful they were already guilty because of something that happened in the garden thousands of years ago. The child was not there, her mother was not there, her grandmother was not there, her great grandmother was not there, still chinchina chitain. You see bonini biakan. From Sunday to Sunday, the child will be indoctrinated with this sin at best story so much that she takes it all in as her first layer. Ni na ye de program ya hyehyɛw ni ye di wagina ho. Ya hyehyɛw ni ye di wagina ho. We ntina amenti asese nyame ne boni papa. Uchiri boni nti uboni pa yiboni ni free ni pa mu wu ni nyina achi wu ni nyina achi wa ye useless. Usi wi asi ya wo de yiboni fi mu wantumi ayi. Wo so na wo boni pa yiboni free ni mu e fa bibi hye ni mu a enti na say laptop kra omo wade omo di hye mu a detective virus. Adena this guy wa bon kra say ye nja nansa. Ye nso ya accept ti ebe infuse all this trash. E de ahya abofra ni. The second brick is the fear of hell. That follows her acceptance of being born a sinner. Would you two munkwade and ye wona wo kro no. Nkrofo we nyina de omo ye nyina ye tactics. Wow, obema wo de wano aka sa wo ye bonefo. Che say what declare nti so that obenya wo ho kwan. When wo game na omo ne mu chi no. Omo de sade we ya to so nti abofra no yin ba no kra no there is nothing like honest life. Onye truthful to himself. The oye bia na ye dia omo aka nti na mofra na ye wo omo sese ni no omo double face life no because dia omo de ba ye ma omo nyini naturally ye ni ye kire omo de omo nye. The child is shown pictures or told stories about fire that never stops burning. For people who do not obey. Inti no, omo de ehun so ataato ama. Edin Judgment day no na me kan endru ha. Inti mu ye na mu se gya no kora tutu nipa emben. Just obey. Do not ask questions. Na sa wo hye nipa na hunhun na ne say na sa oje bibi tuma. E den na ma wo ye wo say decision na wa ye ne ye honest decision. Enye sa what forcing into it. Inti onipa no ne honam enim ye fear na agripe no. When they mention Jesus or God, every doubt and experiment in your mind to challenge it must end. Inti sa wo ka Jesus asem na wo ka say omo say oyesenya just because wo ka Jesus na wa ka say omo yesenya no Christopher onimu mpo se ne ye wo other Jesuses. Inti ebi enya onu ni Jesus na mpo no so no ankasa kra Jesus de ehi e no so the fact that wo bogi Yesu di na okasa nega no oyokoshini o ka say no asama mi keto ma quote to scripture na ma wo ye the same yesterday today and forevermore wo my man atoye na me say wo so wo yes mama na ntoni yendi. What is wrong with what I just said? But they hate you just because you mentioned Jesus that he didn't know and now on share the baby other. At this point, me pa mo chaw. E man na mo se mo kunu mu ehwe me a. Mo beja o mo aware no. Mo hia detox e de ma mo brain. Because to have a conscious husband is everything an asset. Until continue your brainwash. The third break The second break, the third break is the fear of the unknown. The child is told that outside their own religion, everything is darkness and danger. Apart from me, papa, grown men telling her about a marriage she does not know of. Nobody should say that it was a joke. It's a huge statement. Because now the thing is viral. You think it's a joke? She is a child. She has no experience with emotions and doesn't know anything about sexuality. As I say, now my friend Ankasa to you montem. Internet 16 maybe 16 na 18 kra na me kukum din na nufo no kra ma epo no mabuminsa. Na nda no yenim de ekọ. Then comes the break of shame, where the child is taught that their own body, their own desires, and their own questions are dirty and must be confessed. Okay. Katawutiri ye say faha kosiha ye say by the time this child becomes an adult, the wall is complete. Omo de say niam na hihye na adwene mu ne enkola ni bi preso omo be ware. On preso be ya adwuma o preso obe ware akotena be ma so ma be ma ahwe no. Obi akọ share religion mu wati jalabia ne tale ni tiri so na o hye yese mo nhye we no o hye de be no woni tiri so na wi hye ni hair, very fine hair that he is supposed to comb. I was having a conversation with a Muslim doctor. Na me bisa no say, omunim how many people die after they are fasting? Omunim ana. Mo ye fasting no. Na mo rezi acidic no ewo mo yemu no e de akosro. Na mo wi a anadu suma hamache no mo di tuo safi tuo senye mo avi meat na moko wo ho no mo wi amasa num ti ya fe so ko sa ya che anwa tamu na mo asa yire mo nom fe so brodo ayasa de afa ko se hu ayache na mo wi ni nyina brim so mo wi na mo to wo na mo tonko awie mo aboto of 1 o'clock ho no mo ko no na mo kasa na mo enum sente ba mo building acid that is killing you people. And I was asking the man saying say mo ya fasting ni wi kind nipa dodo awu and you don't just care. Ye kokase si amubu befu, but we love you if we don't tell you. Mama religion a downgrade moi ma no kura wo ho no obi ka kire ma na mubu befu your own lives. Nso me ka kire mu omubu befu o, but mo ye fasting we are mo calculating how many people are omubu. Aya mo calculating. Bisamo aya mo calculating. Mama me fenso me ka kire doctor me say wo na wo ye omu nua kona koka na me kokon ba babu me do omu so na me ka kire omu so on ba babu me nti wo de kona koka. By the time this child becomes adult no na omu di niama inti kremofo girls hu omu na want to kire wuti dey amu ko di omu ajalabi na hye omu na mu di omu ana maybe say omu aye mo ho te say nyankopon a ono wabo nipa naked opam omu so haban no omu hye enso mo say ye hye atare enko bisa ne say eso nani a ere no nim by ni nakedness na nkramofo no mbe ma no so ye omo ama nkrofo ya sha mu bi so nkodi omo aya mu yifa ho ana mo ya quick ni ye yifa ho. Oh my God, what's your time with Maame Grace with the goddess herself? Call me the goddess of Akabulan. Me who I not change shinam. Fine babe, fine girl, body tea, body matcha. Aya quick in aya mu yifa ho ana. And she grows into an adult who now believes the wall was always there. Wa mudane mani bi te se nkokọ, edane mema ni bi te se nkokọ. We jeni mu so nkokra no, eye ne se kenten no, eda so butuniti. That's the state Africa wo mu sesi a. Dia yede mu fa so the religion ma mu no sesi ye jamus mu butubutu ho. Te se kenten no ebutumuti. They forget that it was built brick by brick by people. A nipa in a programming system no. From your mother to your father, they judge everything wrongly based on programming idea. This is why I call it ecclesiastical terror. It It is not a single moment that happened or happens. That is why your spirituality has become cancerous. Instead of allowing yourself to heal, no, now what polish on the dead. I was telling the bishop that I don't actually host a show or talk about things I have knowledge about because it's dangerous. And those who were asking me, say, I should give them the secret behind my weight loss. On this same platform 5 years ago, I told you people that I'm bringing you a podcast into me learning human anatomy. And I make a say, Meko school I will bring you a show, Mokaya. 3 years ago, me sign cancer seminabium, and I made my hint in the everything I learn, me go through the system myself. But it took me 5 years to learn about the show before I can bring it out. And I'm not just coming to talk. I'm not coming to do chatters. I'm not coming to do copy and paste. Into me school na me me learn woman. And you don't think say me no tea and me what panier. So be what panier na the swati and the sotia with the way and the skin looking like with the way and the name looking like. You could see I have a very firm body. One day, made chamo gym pictures. Now, my body nibi my exposing the way I met it. Now, show me nim so. Ube who say I am growing backwards. I didn't just lose fat. I lost the fat and built muscle. I went through the process. I gave it time to adjust with my body. And I don't just look good, but I feel good within also. Someone with the way at it. Our platform is to those who have been here. I said that I started 5 years ago to achieve what you see now. I'm not sick. There's nothing wrong with me. It's a show that I'm coming to give to you guys. And I need to learn, experiment it, and then practice it practically with evidence. So that me know kasa ubeti the American ase. When I ye sa time no ye pe bibia quick abofra ye di na fa process we nyina mu no now after is awakening koye meditation e besa dabi you need to give the time. You need to put the person in a process that obey healing completely. Until you look at Maame Grace, I don't look like this and have issues within. You start from within because that is what beauty is all about. It comes from within. Patriotia say, enti mo maye ntu ye bonu ye mboa ye mane ye nuanom no. Mamo maye mo nti ase se bibia ye quick ye sharp. Ade bi ye quick no sa so na be ko sharp. So obi ate ase it is not a single moment that happened. Now why you say wo betumi aye obi deliverance show. Wo betumi am obi anom show. Wo betumi am obi adware show. Obi meditation 3 days show. It's all a lie. It is a slow construction project built inside your mind from childhood. And you cannot use 3 days, 1 day to do this. I'm telling you this with fact. Healing takes time. It is a process. Waiting and crofo, now, I want you to understand something important. This wall of fear floats in the air. That's what I say. Working like a signal jammer. It jams your entire energy framework and throws you into a frequency prison. Do you know your frequency? Do you know whether your system is jammed or hacked? How do you even know? Please tell me. How do you know? You know how sometimes your phone signal drops when you enter a certain building or a certain village where there are no towers or low networks. So who enters how do you feel the signal? Do you know you as a human being, you also have that same feeling? This is how some of us enter the energy no, the divinity no, the frequency no, the vibration no enter into baby. Signal crying the signal from the MTN tower might still be there. But baby a wako urano unya channel no papa sa na yenum bebre ya dwene na akoye but something is blocking it from reaching your phone clearly enti no unya network papa network I had to say Ghana network nanka Starlink de nanka yo minim de ya afa de no kra bon ho kan. What do you think is blocking your frequency right now as you are watching me? Tell me, what do you think is blocking your frequency? In fact, o level of frequency ni yeden, write it in the comment section. And then na wo feel say blocking your frequency. Ibisa, religious fear works the same way on your own inner signal. Ade no nim say wo ye. But Bible say enye. So obi koton san kakra no ma. Bible say enye. Omo disika no kotua tight dey a eno de ye. I don't get it. Na alcohol no kra na mo complain no benku a edi 3 days na wadi je ho. Alcohol bie ni wo a chance a benku no. Hello. Ade na ye tete ye ho sa. Me ba cho why? Why? Real communion wine. So ko Bible school papa, real communion wine. Ayede ye communion from Roma asori abese alcohol ni ma enye valid for communion. Ask yourself why communion wine ye communion e say alcohol wom. In fact, go and ask your bishop why o use vimto e dey ye communion mamu. He doesn't know. We can talk about communion so one day. Na wa wo behu de ewom. Kami bia so limpo anka Sunday bia meye sales. Minim de enti amede be fa. Maybe start show na me person me na njom. I was like, no, I don't want people to dance or laugh over serious things like I want to say. Now fe me say and I mean na sorry because me was sorry dada. I am good, a good singer, I'm a great singer. I'm a worshipper. Okay? Nti na me person me dey fa that line I'm say, no, they will dance at these serious messages. Now me say nka metna sorry kwa na nka me dey ewuremu wo ho. And me who said there be a better said ya me casting me pearls e dia ma mprakunu nti no me ntwe me ho so wo ho kakransa ana ye beduga na ya fema ya beduga ide ya koyanim abusua ne korakora ene kasa bebrebe yi ene sen ya me bisa no dia be na guide wo frequency na dia be na e control wo vibration. Your own connection to your source e be blocking one time to your own creator energy. Inti ekrombo ye creative you copy and paste nko wo start ya de na omate egum cho. This is dangerous. Echen bibia esi Africa for so. I'm telling you this. When it comes to fear, enya agro wo krom ha sei. Oye pani nti yenja no njimi. The network from your soul is there in the sky like a Starlink satellite because it was given to you at birth. And I'm a and no man or more flying, nobody trains them. Almost the warm and a fish no almost swim like a won't I was already a yama. Your frequency and divinity are from birth, but the fear that religion instills in you jams those signals. A bit, me see a bit warm assume audibly. Omusunsum katachrom e bi kura ye beta appeal e bi kura wote wanane ya katro say ni say onye da religion se che so bom paye na kabo empire ne so omo bo a omo ntwen na nyame nka bio na ne obi kasa sa wo kasa wo betwen na nipa ne so aka bi a Christopher empire na ntesa omo be bo na bo for me set alarm na me to madam for test otumi bom paye sa na me twa me di ye to kwan na yakọ abroche yakọ nante a ya bre ne ye beda no asole na ho and me say test shut up me na me prophetess na madada or bom paye want to me sorry bom paye obe complain sa na say me set alarm so e bo for nti woni nyankopon kasa na kasa bebrebe a won ka wonu ntum no no so nka bia na we de mo fa nkonya so mo bubefu me ja ho no de ma. So you feel like you cannot hear yourself. Signals not jam because of religion. Adrian, just I want to mean you kompo. Now kasa won't pay reply. You feel like you cannot trust your own instinct. You are dead. At the moment you get to a point where you feel your instinct does not exist, now you are dead. You feel like every decision must pass through an outside authority before you can move. You are finished. This is not by accident. Abusia, I have said this on this show many times when we talked about the pastors, the popes, and the systems built around them. Fear is profitable. Fear keeps people on those long benches at church. It is fear. Fear keeps people paying tithe. It is fear. Fear keeps people asking for prayer instead of asking for their own power and developing skills to make money. It is fear. Se nyame ambemu a enye yie se wa mompa ya enye se it is fear so. I am not telling you today not to go to church. Me mpacho me nka sa Christopher almost ready to nipa we are seeing na kramofo mpo de they don't mind dying for their nantwie religion. They don't mind. But Christopher no tricky. Please I beg. I'm not saying you should stop your church. Keep going. I am only telling you to notice the wall of fear. The day Africans will think like this, liberation air will start to shake. It will not just blow. You cannot fight what you don't know exists. Minia, you cannot. Notice it. It's very important. So we notice it. So we can begin to take it down. Say, adia who nim dia who ko fight ya den. Say utumi hu. The Bible says seek. Oh, they quote all this Matthew 7:7. Brick by brick, the same way it was built. If you don't seek this, if you don't notice this, if you don't find this, if you don't seek this, forget. That is my mission. And then I may prompt you. Now, what to me, Emma, we need about so. Now, here is something important I want you to hear clearly. Because people often misunderstand me, but it's okay. It's not by force. But those who love me, I explain things to them. So if they get opportunity, they are able to explain to them. We can do something effective with the fear inside you. You know, sometimes I tell people that it is not even the church's fault alone. And you almost and almost say and crop another new baby. Because there is no pastor living right now as we speak in Africa here. You're 200 years old. So how can I blame him? I can't blame them. Because they are almost so. This fear is actually like a decade survival code that contains important genetic information about your ancestry. And now about your ancestry. Long ago, our people were made to fear foreign gods so that they would not resist foreign rule. Long ago, a child who questioned the elders or the church was punished, sometimes murdered. So silence became a survival program for blacks. Allah be chia kremofo ne ka wo pese okumi nko ade Allah be chia wo kaya mutu se wo ye Kristo ni na pese wo be kumi a Yesu mo jan kan anim anio. So the fear inside you today that religion is taking advantage of is not stupidity. A advantage in omuteki. It is something that is being laid inside your body, like you're building like bricks, layers upon layers upon layers upon layers. Yes, no minimum way. There is no way I'm going to attack any pastor or any malam because I know the trauma. Until when we talk about these things, a fear. Any triggers and and this is why I have a problem with those who have the Africa and they feel they should tie their hair with a giant woman and to see. In fact, nipa no more de mua honam chichiro because omone mua wo connection e ya brofo no omona no more de aboa skin enye yenye culture yenye culture. One day we can take up that episode and also do it. Africans never healed. They never got healed. They polished on their woes. That is why they get angry easily. They react easily and yet triggers. Because some who familiar situation na trigger on pains, they are not healed. They are going through trauma. Reactions so it is an old survival tool. Still running in your body. Long after the danger that created it has changed. We are building on it. I did an editorial about the music that plays the gay times in our DNA. And this is exactly that. I will recast that editorial in a better narration sometime. I hope my management is preparing for that. I want to change the face of the show. But I am so under pressure, so Maame. But we will do this. Abusuya, You cannot shout at fear and expect it to disappear. Forget about the fasting, forget about the break and loose. It's a waste of time. You must first recognize it. The way you recognize an old family debt before you can begin to pay it off and close the account. This is how we should look at our woes, our pains, our dogma, our fault, our just a be painful that is destroying us. We need to start from the scratch. I say till this is done. That is why spirituality has become cancerous. You see the wind. That is the first step we went into deeply today. We don't want to come deep. And abusia, recognize the war, recognize the fear. Wo life ni na, wo the far religion, fabra wa wo life mu, fabra wa wo busuam, fabra kura wo fim, fabra tribe wo fim, na recognize your mo, na fe wa be focus so. Do not attempt to fight it in anger yet. It wouldn't make sense. This is what Africans are doing. They feel they can use anger to change nothing. There be. Eba sana, triggers, reactions, trauma, say more. So you shouting Africa, 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 shout about the healing process. It's very important. Just see it clearly for what it is. But when in the way it is. Way to me focus also, and that is your first part to redemption. Until we do this, we can shout, and African will lift up, and African will be great again. If we don't work on the souls in the land is gravity. It works the way it works. It is the soul that will damage it. So at the moment you deal with trauma and wounds, old wounds, and you heal them from the soul, that is when you are able to say that we are going to liberate the continent of Africa. And kasanyama we ye push ya she ye leaders ni mu a katrale say ye nye nipa 10 na join ne dada. Nka nipa 10 join na nke fear I did better sa nkrofo yi so ka de ato am so ba won so matter me cool because omu nim say de all ye enye hwe because the souls of those people are under bricks. That almost CSC so and the people are full of fear. So they are all ye no omu nim say said the Gaddafi wie ye by, said the Nkrumah wie ye by, sa no so na wie ye beba in their mind. But we live to see. Some of us. This is the first part to redemption and freedom, liberation. Say nyama we ina nsi a na ye keka ni ina ye dede hunu. Peso ankrankra bi ate ase. Abusia, we will come to the real solution next week, which is in the mystery of alchemy. And no na directions ni bebre wom next week the churches if we are about talk more life so say but when then we need to do this because we are climbing to another level, so we just need to expose some of these things to us. I send love to all my loved ones. In fact, me send it me dey asede kwa koma enkrofo a omufi abrochire bae. I thank you guys so much for the giftings. Number say me bubu din ba I think say meja me list no the funniest aspect of this whole thing is enkrofo no edin na omo use or platform no so no enye omo natural name enti no me boss me enti platform no so din na me hwehwe na media ayewe but minim say Elizabeth Annan, all my cars are smelling so wonderfully good. Thank you so much. And Queen Odale, Esther Odale, I'm so grateful for all the gifts for my workers and everything. I wish I can mention all your names, but Mantro. Mamoto, I send you love wherever you are. I'm so grateful for all the lipsticks. I appreciate them. Metumi abuba ma bosu so but edini bu a menkai. And I'm person me bosu na nka mejo obi din na mentumi ankai ba mu fa nche me. I am in my menopausal state too. We are brewa. I just look fine. I na me di mu besi makramo meko.